Hey guys, this is the Kickin Lawyer, Jerry Mason. This video is on marketing, specifically for the internet. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, Kickin Lawyer crew? This is Jerry Mason, the Kickin Lawyer. Today is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope you get a chance to watch this and maybe unwrap some wonderful presents from your significant others, your family, or of course Santa Claus. So today's video is, if you're in business, it's designed to help you maybe go into 2019 and achieve some of those goals and increase your sales and whatnot, to go over a little bit of marketing. One thing a lot of people may not know about me is, of course, I promote the Kickin Lawyer component, that I am a practicing attorney in Tennessee. I also have a MBA, a Master's of Business Administration, and do a lot of marketing and help do business consulting for various businesses and things like that also. Also, I run a lot of businesses for myself. We have Badger's Laser Solutions is a laser measurement company. I have my martial arts school that I talk about pretty regularly. Obviously, I have the law firm, and then I've done business consulting and various other things that I do. Those things are always ongoing. So the moral of all that is I have some experience, for better and for worse, from things that I've learned just through trial and error, not even through training, that I wanted to share with you guys about marketing. Now, one of the first things that you need to make sure you do before you engage in any kind of advertising or marketing is make sure you're aware of your company's or your profession's or trades ethical requirements on marketing. For example, as an attorney, there are certain ethical obligations that I have to make sure I comply with our Board of Professional Responsibility. For instance, attorneys can't directly solicit, or at least they're not supposed to directly solicit business. So I couldn't do any kind of advertising or marketing and send it directly to someone just because, say, I knew they had a car wreck or something like that. Now, there are exceptions to that. For example, if I know the person, or if they're family, or they've been a client formerly, there are some things that are exceptions to where then you could directly solicit. But one thing that I would tell all of you is that would help with this video series that I'm doing is, if you haven't already, make sure you watch the How to Brag video that I did a year or so ago. I think it kind of goes hand in hand with this. A lot of people hesitate to tell people how good they are or why they should hire them, and instead of someone else or a competitor. And honestly, that's I think a failing a lot of people have. Humility is great, and just because you talk about yourself or talk about your skills doesn't necessarily mean you're not humble, but there's nothing wrong with being honest as long as you're not deceiving the customer in any way. Now, why the internet? Well, one big reason is millennials are all over the internet. Now, pretty much everybody's all over the internet, but specifically the millennial market. Now, that market will be, in the next decade or so, the preeminent buying market for just about every kind of service or product that's going to be sold. There are some interesting statistics on millennials. 60% of the millennials would prefer to watch a company video than get a newsletter, whether it be paper or email or otherwise. They want to see a video on it. They're also much more likely, I think it's roughly 2/3 more likely, to compare your potential product or service with something online. Like they'll do their own online research and check that. And roughly 75% or 2/3 of them tend to make their purchasing decisions based on things they've seen online, whether it be a service or product they're trying to select. So it could be anything as far as attorney services, as I often promote on here, to the other spectrum of just about anything else. Their clothing, their food choices, all those things tend to be from online marketing. And it's not from traditional online marketing. That's something 20 years ago or so you couldn't say. There was no tradition on online marketing, but most people used to think of your online presence as your website. You do still need a website, in my opinion, but it's kind of secondary really to your social media presence. So social media is a huge crux of how you can get marketing, and oftentimes it's free marketing. So if you're a small business or you don't really have a lot of experience with it, and you don't want to waste your ad dollars on paid advertisements, marketing on social media often can be done free, and I'll give you a few pointers on that. All right, so as we go into this, one thing that I think is very important for you to focus on is you have to be unique in your marketing. I can't stress that enough. You can put as much content out as you want on the internet. You can do as much as you can to try to attract customers. But if especially if you're in a highly competitive market, like again the legal practice that I'm in, or other types of services or industries, you have to be unique. You got to set yourself apart. So, for example, with me, I did the Kickin Lawyer use my martial arts background and try to promote that as far as I'm going to fight for people's rights, and I think I do that effectively. But I use that sort of as a marketing tool to help me get into a market that's not only highly competitive but highly traditional, very protected by those people that are in that market. The other thing is I did the Tennessee DUI Destroyer.com. That was sort of to get into the niche market of DUI defense. Now, I'm not telling you to just go, say you create whatever and say you're something when you're not. I've gone through extensive training, as much as I can find on a regular basis. And of course, I just devour anything I can read specifically on that area of law of DUI defense. So I think it's very safe to say that I know what I'm talking about when I talk about DUI defense. And the Tennessee DUI Destroyer.com is a website I have, and it's just to help reiterate the fact that that's sort of an area that I'm a specialist in. So I had the Kickin Lawyer, Tennessee DUI Destroyer.com, and then, I've used my mini pig, my pet, Whiskey the Law Hog. You can see Whiskey the Law Hog here, and I've used Whiskey to help promote things. And part of the reason that I sort of have those different things, different areas I focus on, and that my YouTube videos aren't always on promoting legal services or giving you information on legal services. Another statistic, about 2/3 of the millennials that, do this internet research to determine who they're going to make purchasing decisions from will get turned off almost instantly if a video is too promotion driven. In other words, if it's clear that the content was created just to get their buying dollars or to try to sell them something or pitch them something. So a lot of my videos focus on other aspects that I think are very important, but part of the reason is that is a statistic you need to keep in mind. You can't just do videos that are talking about, hey, you need to hire me for this, or you need to buy this, period. You need to kind of mix that into your content. Which draws me back to Whiskey the Law Hog. Whiskey is my pet, and I care for my pet, but it's also sort of a twist, almost like a mascot, where people find Whiskey very appealing. They come to our law firm just to see Whiskey the Law Hog, or they ask me questions about the pig. One other point I'd make that you want to keep in mind if you are really trying to be unique is you may get resistance from those in your specific profession. I get some support, but it's usually more resistance from attorneys in my field because of the method that I use to market that's very non-traditional for attorneys. Here I am on Christmas Eve making you guys video because it was a good free day to do that. For once I had a break, and of course I'm in my Kickin Lawyer attire here, and the Kickin Lawyer thing and DUI Destroyer and all that kind of stuff, and the very YouTube page that I have has brought me some animosity from other attorneys because they don't like that it's non-traditional and they view it as maybe unprofessional. But, here's the thing. They don't write my check, these other attorneys. None of them's offered to write me a check. And I have, my own obligations. I support a lot of people, children, and my own children and other members of my family. And so it's important that I be successful at what I do. So I'm going to do what I know is effective for me to be able to support my family. So you got to be prepared for some opposition potentially in your own trade or profession if you decide to use some type of alternative marketing. With that said, so there's all kinds of social media. You've got Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn. All these things can be good platforms. Of course, YouTube. To promote your own business, and I recommend that you utilize all of them to some degree. I think for free advertising, Facebook is a great avenue, especially if you have a lot of friends or followers on Facebook, and you can motivate them somehow to share the content that you produce on that platform. A lot of times that can lead to a lot of faces seeing your information if you can do it right. I've done things on Facebook where if they shared a video or liked something that I posted on that platform, they got a t-shirt or they got some discount at one of my other businesses, various things like that. Any way you can incentivize the customer to share and promote the things that you post on social media, then that it's going to spread your reach out, and it's free. You know, anybody, if they post it on their page, people visit, they can see it. Maybe their friends will share it. You get a lot of customers that way. And obviously, Facebook's a really good option for paid advertisement too. I have used it to varying effect on Facebook, so I don't necessarily recommend that where your ad dollars need to go. I think if you're wise, you can do a lot of promotion for free on Facebook. Instagram too. So one thing that I've done also, and I'm not promoted or sponsored by these people or anything, but there's an app I use called Ripple, RIPL. I think it's like $9.99 a month that I pay. You don't have to. There's a free version you can do also, but I did the paid version because it had more options to use, and I used it on a monthly basis for all the businesses. But it can help you create these little mini commercials. They're pretty effective. They just kind of blast the market real quick. They're not long, just a little hit so that you help build your brand some. I recommend that app a lot. I use it on a regular basis. They look very professional. And any little thing like that that can give you an edge over what everybody else is doing, I think is always a strategic advantage. So I recommend that app, Ripple. You can get it in the App Store. And then the last thing that I would cover is your own website. If you don't have one, I recommend you get one. GoDaddy, again, I'm not endorsed in any way by GoDaddy, but GoDaddy.com I think is a great resource. You don't really have to be tech savvy. They have a domain search option that you can go to where you can go put any domain in you're thinking about, search, see if it's available, it's potentially purchasable, and see what options you have to create your own little website. I do a deal for one of my businesses. I think I pay like $12 a month or so for the domain hosting, and then it gives me a little website that's got lots of different options on it. If you go to jerrymason.com, which is sort of a link I have for people if they can just remember my name to see all the different business options that I have, it's a GoDaddy website. It looks very professional. I think it looks professional, and it wasn't hard to create. I created most of that myself. So if you're not super tech savvy and you're kind of scared of the whole website thing, that's a good place to go. Another thing is YouTube has a lot of good resources on SEO, search engine optimization. You don't have to know a lot about it. You can know a little bit about it. Basically, search engine optimization helps you make sure that if someone searches, say, Tennessee lawyer, that it can up your ranking on, say, Google or any of the search engines to come up sooner, one of the first or second pages. And the studies show that if you're not on the first page, first or second page, most people are probably not going to find you online. So to help support your online presence, you want to make sure you understand some basic search engine optimization options, and that's SEO. You don't have to have an MBA in anything or some special degree. There's a lot of good videos on YouTube that can give you some basic understanding of how that works. And then, of course, our law firm does offer consulting on that if you'd like to utilize us. We'd be glad to help you with your branding and any kind of internet presence, all those kind of things, give you a marketing plan. We do all those things. But there's a lot of great resources online that can help you further your own plans. So the last thing I would leave you with, and again, it is Christmas, so Merry Christmas, is make sure that you're having fun. I enjoy marketing. Again, it's Christmas Eve, and I'm here in my office making this video for you guys. And the reason is I enjoy doing it. I feel like it's something that's needed. I hope that maybe somebody will get a piece of information from this and maybe make their 2019 a better year. That would be great. If that happens, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe to my content. I really appreciate that. And so to answer the final question, why would I use that picture on a Christmas card or marketing or anything? Well, number one, I don't care. I just like having fun. I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I was asked to do it by a friend of mine, Parker Inman, who's got his own photography company, and he does a great job. He does really great photography. He's done a lot of my ad shots for my law firm and other companies. He's a really great guy, and he had this idea to do this ugly sweater campaign for Christmas. Called and asked if my wife and I would be interested in being in it, and we said, yeah. I thought it was great. Thought it was funny, and so I'll use it, and it's unique. And I've gotten tons of traction and comment just because I took that silly picture. Now, did I get some negative comments from it? Yeah, maybe. But you know what? People aren't going to remember that. Ultimately, they'll just remember that I had that interesting picture, and it may not even be associated with the brand I'm building as an attorney, but when they need an attorney, that may be who they think of. So, make sure that you have fun doing it. That's a very important thing. And the last thing is I want to thank all you guys, anybody that's watching this video, especially to this point. I really appreciate the subscriptions and the comments and everybody that's taken the time to look at anything I've created over the last couple of years. I enjoy doing that and hope to continue to do it. So if you haven't, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Please send me a message or comment. Leave a comment below. I read all of them and try to respond to them. Let me know if there's something else you'd like me to do a video on, whether it be in the realm of business and marketing or in legal practice. I'll be glad to help you. And so that's going to end this episode. There will be a part 2, so look for that soon. I'm sure it'll be after Christmas and maybe even in the next year. But hopefully you guys will have a great Christmas holiday. Enjoy spending time with your family, and I look forward to seeing you next year.